Hello, hello, everyone. My name is Stryfium, and we are back with some racing action. It is time. It is Tuesday for Tier 3 Netherlands action. It is the Dutch Grand Prix. And joining me for the Tier 3 action, as always, Alex Bitto. How you doing?
Hello, Shrif. I'm doing very good, very good. Very excited to see these 20 drivers here on Netherlands and see what they are capable to do.
Gonna be a lot of fun. Of course, this is a circuit that we haven't seen too much of in the MRL. We had 2 races around here, Tiers 2. Actually, we had 3 races around here last season for MRL. We had Club Division as well for round 5. But here it is, the
Yes.
Netherlands. And what a circuit it is. It is the newest circuit other than Hanoi, which we've already been to this season on the calendar. And, well, let's take a look at that calendar. Of course, it's round 5, the Netherlands. Next week we go to your backyard, Alex. We go to Spain, of course. And following that, Monaco, Baku, Canada, France. We have Austria as well as Britain, Hungary lined up, Belgium, Italy, Singapore, Russia, Japan, the US, Mexico, Brazil, and of course Abu Dhabi. Take this time to shout out our partners Next Level Racing, who are with us throughout the season. It's going to be a ton of fun as we jump into round 5 here. Let's take a look at the Tier 3 standings. Rutanius, well, I have to say, the Dutchman, he's celebrating his birthday today. So let's get a happy birthday in the chat for Mr. Rutanius. And I have to say, well, he's looking for yet again another win to extend his streak now. It'll be 4 in a row, if I'm not mistaken, if he collects a win here. And, well, he's got quite a haul of points at the minute. And he's leading this championship with Squid and Backrow right behind him. We take a look. Racing Point, Red Bull, and Williams are your top 3 in the constructors. With that being said, we're just about to go racing here. But wow, what a championship we have seen here in this Tier 3 division already. Adam in Australia coming in so strong. He has not had, well, the best results considering some of his qualification positions. You know, we had Scars last week. He unfortunately, not Scars, sorry. Well, the Alfa Romeo's lost some points in Scars last week, unable to drive, but it's been a very dynamic season because not only do we have these standings here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, but we have the combined constructors that's being played here as well. So all of these teams, they're a little bit larger than you might think. There's actually 10 drivers in each team as opposed to, well, just 2, which is something that you don't see a lot of, but it's been a crazy dynamic this season so far, and we are just about to jump into the session here. 18 minutes of qualifying, 50% distance is the race, and something that we haven't seen a lot of this season at all is wet weather, and the Netherlands can certainly provide that. So I'm hoping we'll get that very unique roll of the dice and see some rain. I imagine a lot of the drivers, though, Alex, not wanting to see it.
No, for sure. This is a track where traction is very needed on some corners, on that chicane on turn 12, as well as on the bunker corner on the last sector, turn 14. So there's a lot of points where you need the traction, and when rain pours down, probably it's bad for some drivers, and probably it can strike on their confidence.
Yeah, especially if it's in the qualifying as well as the race. They don't get any kind of opportunity. Well, if it's dry and then wet is what I meant to say, because then they go on that dry running. Here we have a dry running qualifying is what it looks like. So a little bit of a breath of relief for a few of these drivers. The clock has just started to tick down now. So 18 minutes they're going to have here to get a time set. And we're being told now it is going to be a dry campaign. So a big sigh of relief for this grid. 20 drivers on the grid today. We have, well, Alex, why don't you take us through who's racing today?
Yeah, we have Undertaker and AlphaTauri, a full-time driver for the Scuderia. Damon plays on McLaren with Dark Chocolate as his teammate Duncan Yu, having some points in the first rounds. Very good job from him. Atom not having the best probably campaign on these first races, but certainly he has the pace. Cactus lining up with Arrow on Mercedes Unicorn, teammate of Duncan Yu. Lovell with Atom on that Alfa Romeo. It's Linus on Ferrari with Razor. Alex Bad on the Williams with Squid. Moen and Rutenius, which was his birthday, I just said, on
Alex, had a little bit of a drop there, my man. I don't know if something happened. Yeah, Alex disappeared. Oh, are you back? You went away for a moment there. I'm not entirely sure what happened with your audio. Dirk Chocolate has just had a disconnect from the session. We can see. We're going to jump on with Squid. We're going to see what he's doing. For those tuning into the stream, we're going to be working with a little bit of a change in controls today. We're going to try some keyboard controls and see how it goes, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know how you guys like the cameras today versus other days. We're playing with new things, trying new things, and experimenting. Squid now will be coming out of that iconic banking here in Zandvoort to take us through the first lap. Alex, why don't you take us through the turns here in the Netherlands?
Yeah. Squid, right? Sorry, I was
Yes,
trying to invite Dirk. It's Squid, yeah, just on a flyer. I think it was a Renault almost blocking his way, but yeah, he's clean by after turn 3, going this S section full flat out as Dirk joins the session, so no problem for him now. It's turn 7, it will be almost flat out. He almost loses the rear just exiting that turn 7 section, and the first sector just finishes. Now he enters this S section super cautious with the throttle here and not touching that inside curb, just opening the DRS for this back straight. Probably you want to save some ERS here to have it on the main straight. He doesn't do that, but still is a good sector to split, so he will push the throttle down on this turn 12. Is the S section of the Audi section. Now he goes into the second last corner and he invalidated strip. That's bad for him.
Well, Jasko seems to have had an issue here. He is retired here in qualifying, and I saw a yellow flag. I'm not entirely sure who's been caught up in it. Alex Budd. Looks like Dunk on You may have also been involved here. He has damage on the Renault. Both Alex Budd and Dunk on You right now, they are missing both their front wings, but let's talk about the times being set here in this session. Adam, in that Alfa Romeo, Alex, he has come across fastest. It's a 1:08.801. The closest time to him, well, it's the birthday boy. It's Rotanius here, the Dutchman, driving in his home Grand Prix. A 109.066, the best he's got thus far. Goran, here in a reserve capacity, if I'm not mistaken, for Haas, over there, 109.196. P3 right now, Maka in the Haas, partnering him, a 109.319. We have Cactus in the Mercedes. He is 5th so far. The Ferraris are on the board. 6th for Linus. Lavelle has crossed 7th here so far. Undertaker crossed 8th quickest. Damon, as I say now, has shuffled the grid. Damon in the McLaren jumps into the field with a P5 lap time thus far, a 109.5.
Yeah, very good job for Damon, just coming there after all the times were set. So as a banker, it's not bad. It's a 9.5. I really think he can improve that. Probably we'll see pole position being probably mid, an 8 on the middle of the 8 range. Sorry.
A lot of drivers out.
I think he can improve a lot. 8 as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of drivers are going to find improvement here as this session ticks down. Now 13 minutes remaining. A lot of drivers on their first run not getting laps in. Dirk had a bit of a disconnection error. He will begin a lap now on board with Dirk Chocolate in the McLaren as we come through turn 1. Speaking, with Dirk before this session. Not a large fan of driving this circuit. We'll see how he goes through here. Dirk having a very up and down start to this season, Alex.
Yeah, I think he had an incident on Australia causing a DNF after a restart on safety car, and after that he tried to avoid the spinning car of Moen on turn 12 on Bahrain, so he didn't have time to react, and that was bad for his points. But then he had a very good race on Vietnam, so he tried to recover all the points there.
Well, 18th on this timing tower right now. He's going to be looking to put himself ahead of his teammate, of course. All teammates want to be the better of the two. Damon has had a very unique campaign as well, getting some good points finishes. So we'll see if they're able to do some heavy lifting for the McLarens, as last week we saw, well, a little bit of drama in the McLaren camp. There he goes. Dirk Chocolate now will take a P4 lap here. 109.285. 11, well, just I have 12 minutes remaining here in the session. Not too many racers right now on active flyers. 15 times set here in this session. 4 possible times left to be set, and Yasko will unfortunately be starting at the rear. Dunk on You in the Renault has just begun.
Yeah, he's flying. He just puts the hot lap mode on. He's attacking these first curves of first sector. He has a lockup. I don't think it costed that much time, but still, you don't want to have that on Zandvoort, a track where the temps on your front tire is very, very hot. It's very high, and he spins out of turn 7. I think he will recover it. It's not terminal damage for him.
Well, that's very, very fortunate. He has a lot of fast movers coming by. Among the fast movers that are about to come through this section, well, it is going to be the Dutchman flying Rutanius now. His teammate just ahead of him in Moen is on an outlap. We'll see if Rutanius, going by Birthday Tanius today, will be able to improve on the 109.066. He needs to find 2/10 here in order to capture that pole position from Adam.
Yeah, and he's improving to 10th, I think. We'll see on the second split. Yeah, still that 2/10 being well on green. So I think he had the purple sector 1. Now we'll see if he can well just have all the lap together for him, and let's see if he can improve on being on provisional pole.
Well, he's coming down, keeping it tight to the inside now. You can get the helicopter shot. He crosses the line. Is it going to be enough for pole? No. He is 600ths off of Adam. Adam coming through with that absolute superb 108.801 time to kick off this session. And he has not yet left the pit lane to set an improvement. That was his first run. Cactus now in the Mercedes. He is on the move. He's looking to improve on a 109.541.
Yeah, we have Cactus as well as Linus and other drivers like Undertaker, Arrow, and Alex Badmo and Squid still on his flying lap. Other drivers still to complete their out lap. So we will see, because I think we have a Haas crossing the line. It will be Maka. I think, yeah, it's Maka just crossing the line without ERS deployment. He will improve 1/10. Is not enough for gaining a position. It's only 2,000 back of his teammate.
Here goes Cactus now coming out of the banking. The Merc keeping it tight to that inside. He will cross with a major improvement here. 0.320 was the improvement. It's a 109.221 from him. The Albanian will be thrilled about it. He is now into 5th position on this grid. We'll look to jump on with a few more flyers. You had mentioned Linus in the Ferrari was on the move. He's just come purple through Sector 2, but he's had a snap coming out of the penultimate turn.
We'll see if he can improve.
He's aborted energy deployment here. He's angling. I think he's coming in. He is on the way in.
Yeah.
Unicorn. He is flying. The Renault. Well, he has just ran a little wide here, but he has not invalidated, and he has kept that deployment going coming out of the battery.
Yeah, I think he has just aborted this lap. He was not happy with that. I think he was 3.4 tenths down, so he will try to go to the pits and improve that lap. Meanwhile, was Arrow improving to P3 after having his bunker on P14. I think it was Squid invalidating again, so he jumped into the pits. So I think it's 2 laps from Squid invalidator at the moment.
Well, one thing to talk about is the fact that Gadwin is on the move. He set his best time here so far on the mediums. It's a 109.955. The Finnish driver now in that AlphaTauri. He's just about to make his way into Sector 3. I want to see what he is up by here as he makes his way out of the Sector 2 split. And it looks like he's on a major improvement of 0.6, and that could be crucial for him. I remember Gadwin at the release of this game, and when this track had come out, he was one of the quickest guys around here. Now he will be looking to make a statement here as he comes out of the banking. That AlphaTauri absolutely shredding rubber to the line now. What's the time going to be? It's a major time out of the Finn. It's P4, Alex, from Gadwin. And that might be one of his best qualifying performances this season so far.
Yeah, definitely. Very good improvement, as well as Backrow, who puts himself on P3 right now in the second row. But look at the gap strip. We have the first row almost in the same, well, almost on the same tenth, and then it's all very very close. It's 2,000 there from Arrow, Godwin. Then we have Renee Goran as well on the same tenth. Very very exciting.
Yeah, it's a very, very tight grid. We've seen it through the season. We didn't get to really have a major look at it in Shanghai, of course, because the tire strategies in Shanghai vastly different than what you can find here around Zandvoort. But those times are extraordinarily tight, gap from first all the way down to 14th position, less than a second in this tier 3 grid for MRL. And everybody is still going to be looking to improve. The Netherlands, one of the circuits, giving us a shorter lap run around here. And Squid right now in the Williams, he has now just aborted his run here in 19th position on the board. No time set coming out of the Williams camp just yet. We'll see what he's able to do.
Sorry to interrupt, but is Atom improving 3/10? His time 8.5 is the provisional pole position from the Alfa Romeo. It's 3/10 clear from his rival Rotenius, and 3 more tenths of third place. So it's an amazing time. It's an amazing time for Atom.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Rutanius has a lot on the line today. Home Grand Prix could give him a significant leg up in the championship. But Adam, and there's always got to be one driver to make these races difficult. You yourself have been in the position. I remember in Tier 1, if not Club Division, beating out Remco van Putten here during his home race. There's always got to be some kind of, well, unique factor in your way around these races. And I imagine you can think back to your home races last season as well.
Yeah, I didn't have the best luck there, but probably who doesn't have the luck either is Linus, because he just invalidates on turn 13 strip, and it will be massive for him because I think he will have another run. I don't know if he will have back-to-back, but he was improving 3/10 on that lap.
Yeah, he's not using energy coming through turn 1 here. This is going to be extremely unfortunate for him because he needs to get in and he needs to get out. And if you look at this pit lane right now, there's a lot of cars, I think, getting ready to come out. We've got 4.5 minutes left in this session. The lap timer is around it's a minute 10 here. Let's be comfortable. Minute 10. Drivers now coming out. There's a Mercedes on the way.
Moen. Arrow will be starting a lap.
I think Moen just came out as well. If not, that was Rutanius. But everyone is going to be getting out, and anyone that needs to come in and get another lap, there's going to be traffic. It's a tight circuit. Arrow, as you said, firing it up into turn 1.
Yeah, Dirk finishing his lap, and he puts himself on P3, so very close to Rutanius. This is closing. The gap are just closing right now. So it will be Dirk only 1/10 behind Rutanius, and probably he still has another Atom.
Godwin with a disconnection issue. We'll hope to get that sorted for him once we get into this session here. 3.5 minutes remaining in quali. Arrow now, he's coming through this very, very fun-flowing section of circuit in Sector 2. I mean, personally, I really enjoy driving this circuit, but I have to say, in my experience, it can be quite difficult with 19 other drivers to contend with, especially when you are in a grid that is separated by less than a second, at least in the top 10. Well, all the way down to 13th in this grid right now. Arrow, he has aborted. It looks like he might just be getting set to go for one last run here. He's slowed things down significantly through the final few turns. But he will begin again.
I don't think he invalidated. He had the track map on, well, still in the same color as always. So I think probably burning some fuel to be lighter on the car.
Very, very possible. Very possible. I don't think you can really underfuel your car around the Netherlands, so he could be trying to get himself below that additional fuel level that you leave with here. But you could correct me if I'm wrong. Unicorn is on the move.
Unicorn is on his lap as Godwin joins, so it's good to see. Moen wasn't on the off track on turn 7. Let's see, because Unicorn is improving almost 1/10, so this could, well, at the moment he wouldn't gain any position, but probably if he can improve on that sector 2 and
Squid.
sector 3.
Squid just denied Dirk Chocolate that top 3 starting position. He slots himself just ahead of the McLaren in the Williams, but Cactus says hello. So we have some rapid times coming here down at the end of this session. Adam, Rutanius, and Cactus, your top 3 for the moment. We'll see if anybody else is able to get out for a lap. Unicorn now coming out of the banking to the line. What's it going to be from the British driver? It will be an improvement of a 10th, but it will not be enough to move him out of that 16th position. He will drop the energy deployment, and I think that will be it for him here in the Netherlands. Lavelle.
Yeah.
Flying through Sector 3 now. Does not look like he will be improving, though.
We have Linus just starting a lap, I think. And we have both Haas and Backrow who can surprise. I'm actually very curious with Backrow because he has good actions on, well, very good races on the first 4 rounds. So we will see if he can improve. But yeah, I think Grenade Goran, no, it's Maka who will be crossing the line first of these drivers.
Well, Maka keeping it tight to that inside. The Haas driver with a fantastic time, a 108.924. He's into the 108s. He jumps Cactus, and things are getting even tighter on this grid. As we say that, Grenade Goran comes through in 8th position, getting it done for the Haas. Who was that crossed behind him? Back row. There are some very, very rapid times coming through here. Dirk Chocolate has come out with 10 seconds remaining. He's coming through turn 1, and he is burning rubber, Alex. He is not happy that he's been kicked into 7th position here.
No, definitely not. I think, yeah, he's starting a lap. And we have as well Undertaker. No, Undertaker will not have time to improve because I think the flag came down just before he was able to do it. So I think we have Adson still on a lap. No, he's on 0 deployment. So I think we have Dirk here, Gadwin as well. And that will be, so we will have an eye on these drivers because we
Oh no! We switched to Gadwin for just a brief moment to check in with where he was on the circuit, and as we switch back to Dirk Chocolate, tragedy has struck. He was on a very, very rapid time, but just coming through Sector 2, he's unfortunately had an issue, resulting in an aborted lap time here. Gadwin has just passed him by in the AlphaTauri. Gadwin, as it stands in that Sector 2, was not able to improve according to our times, but we'll see if that is something different he can find through Sector 3. May not be the occasion, though.
I don't think he will be. I think actually P11 is a good position. You can do the reverse strategy, but we will see if he can improve, and he doesn't, so it's not that bad to start on P11 here, Striv.
Well, I do believe that will be the last of qualifying here for this session. Adam, Rutanius, Maka are your top 3 here after 18 minutes. Cactus there in 4th position with Squid and the Williams rounding out your top 5. We'll go down through the classification once again in a moment. But I am very, very thrilled to see how things went in this qualifying session. Everybody on the soft compound tires. The gap to leader right now on this grid from 1st all the way down to 17th position is 1.173. And I have to say, Unicorn, Moen are not that far behind. Moen failing to get a quicker time, but through the season, we know for a fact he will be somewhere in the middle of this one. Yasko as well. This is an incredibly tight grid, Alex.
Definitely. As I said, I expected this. It's a very short track, and it's a very, very compact grid. So, yeah, it's very amazing to see this.
A lot of fun is about to go down here. A lot of intensity as well. Adam, the Alfa Romeo, once again on pole position here in the Netherlands. It's the Dutch Grand Prix, and joining him, it is the birthday boy, Mr. Rutanius, in the Racing Point, looking to collect yet again another win here to make it 4 in a row. And, well, starting in P2 is a change for him. Maka in 3rd position will round out the top 3 in the Haas. Cactus in 4th. Squid in 5th. We'll go down through the rest of this grid with you on the formation lap. My Alex.
Yeah, we have Jasko. We have to take an eye on Jasko because he didn't set the time. I think he DNF'd on his first run. So we will see because Jasko normally is a driver which has pace like Rutenius, like Arrow, like like the drivers on the top five, like Adam. So probably we can see him jumping a lot of positions on this race.
Yeah, definitely. Before we jump into this, I just want to give a couple of quick shout outs. Of course, first and foremost, to our lovely viewers and the raiders that came through. Mr. Ace Ritchie had come through with a raid, as well as Braves Plays before the stream began. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, in the stream. And of course, thank you to our partners, Next Level Racing. You can check them out in the chat. Their link will be up. And they have a fantastic website, home to an amazing line of sim racing products from beginner all the way to the advanced level, Alex.
Yeah, very very good sim rigs and very good products. So this timer is coming down. It's 5 seconds till this formation lap begins. The driver's still setting the fuel, probably changing some aerodynamics, pressures. Probably pressures not, because they will not want to touch those pressures here on a track like Zandvoort.
I'm nervous for this. I'm genuinely nervous for this race. We've seen some very dynamic races around the Netherlands, a few of them impacted with wet weather. Now we are going to have a really intense race here, as Linus has had a major issue here on the formation lap, maybe a little bit too quick into turn one, having to take a little bit of off-road there. But we take a look at the tire strategies being deployed by these racers. The top 10 all on these softs. Then we have Gadwin, Linus, Undertaker on mediums, Damon behind them on hards, with Razor joining him in the other Ferrari. Lavelle is also on mediums, with Alex Budd on hards, and Yasko starting at the back of this grid on hards after he had an unfortunate incident in qualifying. It'll be Unicorn and Moen outside of the top 10 starting on softs. But what a unique grid it is. Once again, Adam, Rutanius, Maka, your top three. Alex, why don't you take us through the rest of the starting lineup here for round 5?
Yeah, Cactus will be lining with Maka on that second row, Squid on back row, 5th and 6th. We have Dark Chocolate, who was not able to improve on that final run on P7, Duncan Yu on 8th, Grenade Goran on 9th, Arrow, the other Mercedes, just landing the last place on this top 10. All these top 10 drivers on the soft compound. So we have these drivers being faster on this first stint. Then we have Godwin, who selected the mediums, with Linus and Undertaker doing the same, Diamond Plays and Razor on the hards, Lovell on mediums, Unicorn, Alex Bad and Moen, and Jasko, who got disqualified on the formation lap.
Thank you very much for taking us through that, Alex. Pit stop strategy here: soft, hard, soft, medium recommendations for the soft runners. For the medium runners, you can do soft, well, you can do medium hard, or you can do, well, there's a lot of different strategies that you can deploy here, but one thing that none of these drivers are prepared for, I think, is the potential element of safety car. The Netherlands, a track where it is something that can come out a little bit more common. Now, approaching the line, all of these drivers getting ready to go racing here. It's Adam and Rutanius on the front line here, round 5, Tier 3 Racing, MRL Season 4. My name's Strifium. Joining me is Alex Biddo. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in the Netherlands, and we are racing around Zandvoort. What a jump we've had out of the Mercedes. It's Cactus hunting down the inside into the first turn. Rutanius, the hometown hero, squeezing off Adam. Does he get the move done? It's a drag race through this first sector between these two. Adam on the inside. Rutanius is looking at him. Adam gets out in front. Rutanius wants that inside switchback. Cactus has the popcorn in third position, and what a race start we've had here, Alex.
Safety car.
And there it is.
Car.
There it is.
Yeah. I think it was Squid and Moen probably having a contact, or Linus, I think, involved on that crash. After the move of Atom on turn 3, I think there was damage for Maka, because Rutanius had to avoid the rear part of the Alfa Romeo, so Maka was just behind and didn't expect that that speed from the racing point. So we'll have Maka, so probably he will have to pit, and some drivers behind, as well as Dirk Chocolate. I think he has damage as well on his end plate, but back row is safe, it seems.
That was a very intense start, especially at the front of the grid. We wanted to see how things went off the get-go here. We had a fantastic shot with Cactus coming through that first sector, watching that front row battle unfold between Rutanius and Adam. Unfortunately, things further down were not as clean, and now we have a safety car here, the first safety car, and this is a very long campaign, a 36 lap campaign here around the Netherlands. And well, we'll have to just see what some of these early pit runners do now. Dirk Chocolate will be the first of those to come in. Dunk on you now behind him. Dirk has jumped onto the mediums, as has the Renault.
Yeah, a lot of drivers who started on the soft compound now have damage. Sorry, so I think they will try the put the medium now and probably try to extend it as much as they can and put a soft compound at the end of this race.
Well, one thing to talk about are position changes. Cactus and Macca, they have traded positions from the start of this race as their timing tower, well, says no, you will not have the position changes. But it has been a very intense and explosive race start here in the Netherlands, and, well, I think it's time to get that good old pole out for safety cars. We've had one now. Are we going to be having more, Alex?
I think it's possibly certainly will have some safety car after this one, because I think there's a lot of differential on tire compound, as we can see on the grid. So I think probably after this soft runners pit, they will have traffic to deal with, and probably some accident can maybe done there.
Safety cars breed safety cars. Mikau, head steward, coming through into the chat, keeping a close eye on the events of these races, as he did in Season 3 for the Netherlands. It is a very intense circuit, considering, well, how tight and compact it is. And, well, these rolling restarts, they are helpful, I imagine, around a circuit like this, but everybody is, you know, holding tight with the driver in front. Everybody's trying to take those inside overtaking opportunities. There's a lot of different overtaking opportunities here if you have that momentum. It is, in my opinion, such a flowing circuit, and if you're quick, you're quick, and you want to be doing as much overtaking as you can, but there aren't, you know, some places can be deceiving, in my opinion, Alex.
Yeah, it's a track where, yeah, as you said, the flow is very good. In my opinion, it's very enjoyable when you drive here alone. Probably in dirt here, it can be a little bit mad there on traction zones and probably understeering a little bit behind some car. But in my opinion, it's enjoyable. Probably difficult to overtake.
Well, I think our timing tower has sorted itself for the time being. So now on screen, you can have a look at the position changes in this race so far. We'll throw the fastest lap of the campaign up there as well, but we really haven't had any real green flag running yet. So you can see those high lap times representative of a first lap with a safety car deployment. 140s, 130s, not something you really typically see here around the Netherlands, but the position changes. The biggest winner here so far is Unicorn, without a doubt, into 6th position, up 11 slots. Yasko, he started this race in 20th. He is now in 10th under these safety car conditions, and we are going to be going around this track for one more lap. But it has been, well, we had a huge explosive start. Now we're a little calm, and we're going to get to do it all again in a few moments. So we're very, very thankful to have you all joining us in stream. Of course, to everybody who has hit that follow button, who's hanging out in the chat, throwing their predictions and their, well, strategies out, we greatly appreciate you, and we greatly appreciate you tuning in for some MRL Season 4 action.
Definitely. So Unicorn, yeah, the massive gainer here on the first lap after the safety car. So it's 11 places, but he started on this soft compound. He didn't decide to pit and get rid of them. So he will be taking some profit of these tires still. And I think he will have more pace than Undertaker on the mediums. I think he will try to stretch the gap, probably keeping the position. Back row is a driver with a lot of pace. So we will see what Unicorn can do here.
Alex Budd, I think, did he just come in under safety car to get another set of tires? So he's on those mediums, yeah. The Williams, 19 and 20 right now on some very, very fresh rubber. And we know with Squid and Alex, they've got the pace to do some good work around here. So we'll see where they land themselves on this restart. Adam is about to follow that safety car through the split. No indicator yet that it is coming up. There it is. Race control. Safety car is in this lap. So we will have green flag running on lap 5. You can see Adam now starting to get some temperature into those tires, weaving and pacing this grid. We'll have to see where Retanius lands. We're going to have another rocket launch from the Dutchman, I imagine, trying to secure that lead race position. Adam does not want traffic. We've seen what traffic can do to the Alfa Romeo. It has been his Achilles heel through the season.
Yeah, definitely. He's still not pushing the throttle. Moen getting a 5-second penalty, and now he's pushing Atom. I think Rutinius reacted on a good way. Probably Cactus is better because it's closing the gap. Let's see if there's another exchange there behind. I think Razor probably undertaking.
Oh no! There's been a major issue on this restart. Alex Budd, I am sorry to interrupt you, Alex. Alex Budd is out of contention here on this restart. Coming out of the banking, there is a tire off that car. There's a yellow flag as a result, but on the heel of the safety car, I do not think we're going to see anything else deployed as a result.
I don't think so. And sorry to interrupt, but it's Dirk and Linus almost going side by side. I think Dirk overtook Linus. I don't know if he has damaged the Ferrari because he was understeering on turn 7, but Dirk just breezing past this Ferrari driver. Now he has a train behind him.
Yeah, Linus has a little bit of damage on the front right. Unicorn right now, hot on the rear of back row. He's hunting down that charging bull back row in the rearview mirrors of Maka right now. And with that being said, Maka is dropping off Cactus somewhat here. Garan and Linus wheel to wheel through sector 3. The Ferrari on the outside now. The Haas looking for position. Nothing doing just yet, but that Ferrari is damaged. So we'll see what Garan's able to do. Not too much going on ahead just yet. Yasko is looking at Damon. Here goes Garan. Yeah, he's leading that Ferrari now. Here goes Linus for a move back to the inside. There he is on the inside, the Ferrari. Does he get this move done? He's got damage, but he's not letting that stop him. Garan with a little bit of a better exit here. Oh, this is very tight racing through sector 1. Who's this on the rear? Gadwin has the front row seat, and he's on the fresh mediums, Alex.
Yeah, and Duncan Yu was overtaking Gadwin on the main straight, but then he tried to be super optimistic on the inside of Linus. Linus trying to do the switchback on Grenade. So Duncan Yu losing another place now with Gadwin. And I think Linus now, yeah, is dropping back because of the damage.
Oh, it's tight. It's tight between Gadwin and Linus. He's fighting Gadwin here. Not a lot of turning ability in that car. Duncan Yu now is having a look as well. Linus trying to position that car, but I think it's too late for him. And up ahead, there's been an exchange. Oh, big dive, big dive. Oh, no. There's so much going on through that third sector. What's happened with Dirk? Dirk is off. Yasko is off as well. I think they had come together. Neither car has any damage, though.
That's very fortunate for the crash because it seemed more harsh than it was, probably. And Jasko and Dirk both losing the rear on turn 13 because they had tires on their back.
Well, Yasko and Dirk aren't going to let that squabble change anything between this absolute grudge match they're having right now. It's a drag race between the Brit and Yasko coming down into turn 1. Dirk Chocolate says, "Get out of my way," to the Red Bull. He's on the mediums versus the older hards, and that has slowed him down massively. Dirk, however, did show us some good pace in the qualifying session. Speaking of good pace, back row, Unicorn hunting down the Haas of Maka. Yellow flag, where's that? Through sector 2, Moen.
There was Moen, I think he spun after turn 7. I don't know if he has damage, it doesn't seem like. But yeah, Duncan Yu beating from medium to hard, so he changed his front wing. So we'll have to try to do the undercut, but those
Squid on the inside of Lavelle. Oh no, Lavelle. A little bit of contact there between him and Squid. No damage, but a bit of a spin. Squid, what a dynamic race this has been, and I imagine there's a significant amount of the drivers in the back 10 right now that are rubbing those hands together, hoping for a safety car, and we might get one soon enough. There's more overtaking going on in this grid. Razor gets through on Undertaker, and Backrow is still hunting down Maka.
Yeah, Backrow is super close. I actually thought he was going to do the overtake on main straight, but now probably he's waiting for the next lap because Maka is low on energy and Backrow is on 80%.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting exchange here, especially once we get out of that banking. You can see how tight Backrow's holding, and not too far behind him, he's got Unicorn. They have a 3-second cushion to the driver behind them in Razor. Razor has his own issue in Undertaker right now. Lots of action happening on this grid. We're about to bring you to the rear where Moen and Dirk are about to exchange, as well as Squid is in that train. But we want to see what happens here for this 5th position. Is Backrow going to get it from Maka coming down into turn 1? He needs a good exit here. Maka, no energy in comparison. Dirk Chocolate's making a move early here. Moen, does he have an answer? Dirk says no. You don't have an answer. I'm going to take your inside and move into 15th position, and there it is now through turn 1. Backrow, Maka on the outside. Backrow gets it through. The Red Bull is into 4th, and Unicorn will be next to take a position potentially. What a race we are seeing unfold here, Alex.
Yeah, and Maka seems like he has damage. I think he has been holding these 2 drivers, Backrow and Unicorn, these laps after the DRS was enabled after the safety car. So I think Backrow and Unicorn are losing a lot of time. Almost 4 seconds between them and Cactus, who is on the podium, and Routine is super close of Adam at the end of this thing.
Half a second between the hometown hero here. Let's take a look at Rutanius right now. He has a ton of battery in the tank of that Racing Point. Adam also not utilizing a ton of battery. I've heard it from the drivers. You really don't want to be burning a ton of battery around here. Rutanius wanting to get this win to continue a streak and to take it around home as well. DRS is in his utilization, but here we go. This is an undercut coming out of the Dutchman, and this is going to spark a chain reaction through this grid, I imagine, following the next lap. Unicorn, here he is looking at Maka coming into turn 1. Nothing doing just yet out of the Brit. Maka, however, he's on notice from the Renault.
Yeah, and Rutinius, I think he will rejoin just behind Gadwin. Probably it won't be the ideal position because he probably will be losing time, so Atom can do the overcut because this can cost a lot of time to the Racing Point Shrift.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Rutanius cuts through traffic here. The Netherlands can present very unique overtaking situations resulting in any number of outcomes. Maka right now and Unicorn are about to give us one of those displays themselves. Unicorn really hunting down Maka, less than 3/10 the gap right now, and it will be DRS on the rear for the Renault.
Yeah, now he's pushing the overtake battle. Maka was not. Maka has damage on his right end plate, so that's probably why the drop of pace. So we'll have to see if Atom does an answer on this undercut of Rutinius. And no, he will stay out. I think he saw Rutinius on traffic and he will be overcutting the Racing Point. So I think it's a good strategy for Adam to win this race if he wants to have it on the pocket.
Well, Unicorn not quite able to do anything against Maka just yet. Damon and Grenade now have exchanges. Garan's gone through into 8th position. Who's on the heels of this? It's the Finn and Rutanius. The Dutchman versus the Finn, and Gadwin is not giving him any passes here.
What are the fans? What are the fans from Gadwin? He went to the outside, and Jasko, I think he has a spin on the last corner. I don't know if he has damage. I don't think so because he doesn't pit and he had the option. So yes, it was an exchange between Rutinius and Gadwin, but then Gadwin on the outside line on turn 1, he can put the throttle down earlier. So Rutinius won't have that place and Gadwin still holding him.
Yeah, this is intensity right here. Rutanius needs to clear through the Finn. And as long as this battle and as long as Gadwin's putting himself in that Dutchman's way. Oh, here we go, wheel to wheel now. Rutanius needs to get this move done. Is he going to get it? Gadwin, a stellar defender, but I don't know if he's going to have anything to say about this. And there he goes. Rutanius is now back into points, and he has Damon ahead of him on the 10-lap older hards.
And Atom doesn't pit again, so well, I mean, Rutinius is still on traffic, so I think he's not doing anything bad, Atom. And as well as Cactus, they staying out. Maka pits because he had damage and think he wants to get rid of that as soon as possible. But Unicorn overtaking Maka on the back straight here on Zandvoort.
Well, that's very, very good stuff. Now Maka coming into that pit lane. Squid is within a second of Dirk Chocolate, and this is something that we've wanted to see, is a battle between some of these guys who started this race a little bit further up the grid. Unfortunate issues happening to plague their race early on here. We're only a third of the way through now on lap 12. Razor has the AlphaTauri of Undertaker in his rearview mirror still. They're on the same length of tire, just 2 different compounds. 11 laps on the hards for Razor, 11 laps on the mediums for Undertaker here. Garan, Damon, they are pretty well in this train, as well as Rutanius and Gadwin, and it's a major snake through on the rear of
Arcenius
Razor.
will want to be doing the move right now. I think Demon will not defend that harsh because he hasn't pit yet, I think. So it will be Atom pitting as well at the same time. So it will be Rutanius having fresh air a little bit, only 1 second gap to the car ahead. So we'll see if Atom did the overcut. I think it's the thing because
Here
he
goes
pitted for
Undertaker,
hard.
Razor into turn 1, wheel to wheel now. The Ferrari's on the inside. Oh, Undertaker. Tight, tight, tight. Does he get this done? Yes, Razor has dropped to 5th. Undertaker is through, of course. Razor currently holding on to a penalty of 5 seconds. He can serve that later on. Moen has a penalty, as well as Linus. And who's this now? Garan is looking at him just the same. He had a look. Nothing doing just yet. He's on a little bit of a quicker tire at the moment. A little bit more life in these.
Yeah, and Atom's just returning ahead of Rutanius. He had a 1 second gap, but then with the traffic, of course, you will lose time. Atom trying to make a move, but it will be a DRS train for these drivers. Atom with a lot of battery and Rutanius with 30%.
Well, I have to say, it was a major gamble from Rutanius, and Adam extended, and now they just find themselves chasing one another behind traffic, and this is going to be a very interesting situation come the end of this race. Cactus has now jumped into the pit lane for some hards. Backrow and Unicorn are the only drivers remaining. Excuse me,
No.
Backrow is the only driver remaining on their starting set of softs, as Unicorn has come in for a set of hards as well.
Exactly. Let's see, because Cactus rejoins just ahead of Atom. I think actually he...
Oh
sorry.
no, Adam with a major lunge here on the inside of Razor. I have to say, I'm not sure if that was lag. No damage from either of these racers. Now Rutanius wheel to wheel with the Ferrari coming through here. Heading into Sector 2. Razor holding 5th position. Adam muscling his way through. Rutanius needs to get through this Ferrari. No damage on any of these cars. I have to say that's fairly fortunate, but what a muscle by the Alfa Romeo there.
Let's hear the Rutanius, because I actually thought he was going to dive there on turn 10, but he will wait for the DRS straight. Let's see, because Razor has DRS as well, but the battery of the Racing Point can be a good help, and the tires as well. He will have more grip on this Audi section. So it's an overtake for Rutanius, but almost losing the DRS on Atom. And there's a spin, I think it's Zasko.
Yasko's had an issue. Meanwhile, Gadwin's taking a look at Razor now as well. Just want to double check with these drivers in a few moments here that they don't have damage. Razor holding that inside. Gadwin says, I'll hold that outside all day. I've got great speed. Wheel to wheel now between the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. Tight as we come through. Gadwin gets that move done. Around Razor he goes.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Renate Goran as well doing the overtake on Undertaker. Now it's Atom very close on the back of this AlphaTauri on 14 lap tires of mediums. So I think the pace on Atom will be massive as Rutanius is closing the gap again.
Adam, Rutanius, everyone in this train now, drivers ahead of them, they are going to begin to struggle. We'll have to see how Adam and Rutanius adjust for the differential in rubber ahead. Of course, when you have older tires, things are adjusting as your race goes on. Braking points, you have a better feel of where you're at with grip. And Adam, on the freshest tires right now in this top 5, he will need to compensate for these drivers ahead who may just be a little bit slower into corners and on exits. And this is something we've seen him struggle with, I think, so far in this season. Coming through traffic has been his Achilles heel. Here he goes now on Undertaker. This looks to be an easy move, easy as you like now. Around the outside, Undertaker holding to the inside. He gets a decent level of traction. There's still wheel to wheel here on the exit. Little bit of contact there. Undertaker, does he lose it? Oh, wow, what a save coming out of him. That was really touch and go, and he's going to keep that front end clean. Rutanius now is already barking up the rear wing of Adam.
There was massive skill from him as Unicorn takes the outside on turn 3 of Demon Blade. I think Demon Blade has damage on the right end plate. Squid will take the place as well, and probably Squid taking 2 on 1 action. Let's see if he dives on the inside. I think he will back up here because Unicorn had the line and still fully ahead. So no exchange for Squid other than with the McLaren.
What a race we're seeing unfold here in the Netherlands. We had that opening safety car, and it's been go, go, go since. Here goes Rutanius. He's looking to go as quick as he can here. He's on these older hards, but he's within that half a second gap of Adam, and if he's able to present himself in front of this Alfa Romeo, I don't know what Adam will be able to do about it. Here we go now. DRS on the rear. Will he have enough of a run here? He is not getting it into this first turn.
No, he's not. Probably better exit, as I see Atom probably a little bit struggling on the gas. But yeah, Rutanius closing the gap. I think he has more pace, but he has to take care of that fuel because it's super easy to burn it here on Zandvoort, as Backrow is still on his first stint of soft. It's 16 laps, and this will be the 17th. Probably he is, well, obviously he's doing the soft to mediums, but probably is just losing time, a lot of time now.
Adam in third position, Rutanius in fourth position, the drivers ahead of them. Well, Garan doesn't actually need to pit. Backrow must. But Garan doesn't actually need to pit if he's able to really extend things. But Adam, 1.7 seconds behind him with Rutanius. They're slowly breaking down that gap to Garan ahead. Rutanius and Adam, if they start to battle, it could be good for the Haas.
As Backrow has an answer. Backrow has an answer. He will pit. He will be on this pit lane. Yeah, of course, he will be putting the mediums, but it's almost half the race on the soft compound. Of course, we had that safety car, and you can take care of that stint on the under safety car conditions. So it's very, very questionable move from Backrow, because I think he was losing a lot of time on the end of that stint, as Dark Chocolate will overtake him just exiting the pits, but Dirk has to pit again, and he just loses the car on turn 2. I don't know what happened to him.
Well, I didn't see what's happened there. I'll tell you something, though. There's a little bit more exchanging coming down the further end of this grid. Cactus right now is looking at Lavelle. There are tight pockets of racing all over this grid. All over this grid, and one of the tightest pockets now. Does Rutanius have the look to the inside? He looked, but he did not lick the stamp and send it. He might be looking to do that into turn 1, though. He needs to keep it easy going here. You can see that yellow fuel light now on the racing point.
Yeah, that means he's on negative fuel, so he'll have to take care of that. So we have Undertaker pitting, so he will be putting the softs, I think, as I think he saw how Backrow was doing with those softs, taking care of them 17 laps. Probably Undertaker wanting to do the same, but no, he will pit for hards. He doesn't want to risk, and we will go to the end on that compound, as Cactus is super close at the back of the Alfa Romeo of Lavelle.
Cactus hunting down that Alfa Romeo right now. Lavelle, 16 lap old hards versus Cactus on the 4 lap old compound. And well, Lavelle right now is within range of Razor ahead, and this could be a thorn in Cactus's side trying to advance on the Alfa Romeo, but Cactus is in a good position here.
Yeah, he's on a net podium, I think, because it's on a net podium because Grenade Goran, Razor, and Lavelle has to pit, but Backrow can be a threat to this this Mercedes podium, sorry, because Backrow with the new compound and being safe to go to the end probably can attack if Cactus is not able to overtake Lavelle on this remaining laps.
Here goes Rutanius now, DRS once again. Lap after lap, he's been looking at the rear wing of Adam, that Alfa Romeo branding on it, and he's been having good exits out of this first turn. Not enough to get things done, though. Here goes an issue. What's happened with Cactus?
I think he went wide on turn 1, but he will have a better exit to this section of turn 2 and 3. Better traction, better grip on those hards. It's 5 old hards instead of 17 for the Alfa Romeo, who has to pit still. So Cactus will be catching Razor on these laps. He's actually on the DRS window, so we will see if he can do a move soon.
Well, you said it a few moments ago, Cactus in a potential net podium position here. 5 lap old hards, fantastic track position. He has Backrow about 3.5 seconds behind him. If Cactus is able to give himself some separation, that would be crucial here.
Definitely.
Razor yet to pit in this race, so he is technically net P4.
Still holding Cactus on level. Seems like Cactus will have a run on this main straight, but Razor still with a lot of battery. Probably Razor pitting now for mediums could be an option, but we'll see because it's Razor taking the inside line, Cactus with the DRS and draining all the battery he has till the 0% battery, so it will be an easy move for the Mercedes.
Well, Lavelle's trying to peek his wing in there as well. I'm going to have to take a look at that front end to see if he had any damage. No end plate removal from that Alpha, but he was really peeking his way in there with Razor. Might have cost him overall to Cactus, and that would be good for him.
Yep. I think almost having contact there, it could be massive for them because they would pit and lose 5 more seconds. They don't want that. And Routine is super close on Atom. There's contact, but it's not enough to have any major consequences. But it's Routine is on the inside.
Oh, wheel to wheel coming through the turn now. Rutanius looking for a move back on the inside now as they come out. It's Adam holding on to second position for the time being. Adam giving the Alfa Romeo fans what they've wanted all season long today. A superlative drive in the cockpit of that car. Knockwood.
I think this attempt of overtake was caused by probably distraction of Atom because Atom had to drain 10% of his battery as Rutinius was not doing that. So it seems like Rutinius has more pace, more confidence on himself. And oh, there's a crash. I think it's a Ferrari and a Red Bull.
Yasko and Linus have appeared to come together in some kind of exchange. Moen has overtaken the Red Bull as a result. We jump on with the Alpha of Lavelle as he continues his campaign to hunt down the Ferrari of Razor through Sector 2. Linus has just taken a 3-second time penalty after multiple warnings. He does have damage on the front right end of that car, and we've also heard from the Alfa Romeo squad that Adam does have a portion of damage. However, we're not seeing it from our end here, so I'm not entirely sure how accurate that is. Rutanius, aka Rutanius, continuing to hunt him down for potential win of this campaign here around his home circuit. We jump back to the final points position as Squid is hunting down Unicorn for 9th now, with Maka not too far behind him. He's on 19 lap old hards here for this one, and Lavelle in the Alpha has jumped into the pit lane. Yasko has jumped into the pit lane and left the session. I'm not entirely sure if that's a disconnect of some capacity, but there is now an AI car on circuit as there's some fast movers coming through behind him.
Yeah, this can affect a lot. Godwin will have to take an overtake, an awkward overtake on the Red Bull as well as Undertaker. It will not be ideal for the race. But yeah, it's Zasco there on AI. I sent him an invite, so we'll have him soon here.
Now Rutanius still looking at Adam. He's got a fantastic run here. He's looking forward in the inside this time. He's got that nose through ahead of the Alfa Romeo. There's been a major contact. Both drivers, they're out. They've spun. Rutanius, he's getting that car turned around. He's trying to go. He's got that lead through. Cactus has gone into the rear, and he's taken off an end plate. Cactus has just taken off an end plate on the rear of the Alfa Romeo.
Oh my god. This is massive for the race. Cactus had this win there just on track, but he just did contact with them. Probably Rutinius jumping into the pits. I think we'll pit for soft. Cactus doing the same, Razor doing the same, just on his window, Dirk as well, taking profit of this. They will all put soft, probably someone changing their front wing, as I think Razor is serving a 5-second penalty. Atom staying out. No, sorry, he pitted as well. So he's Unicorn on the podium and Green Gorang leading this race.
Wow, what an exchange we've had here. Grenade in the lead of this race. A fresh set of rubber for him. The Haas drivers, the Haas fans are looking at this and they're saying, go Grenade, go. Get the win here. It is now a major gap to the drivers behind him. Squid, P4. 21 lap old hards here, Alex. What do you think about this for him?
He has to pit, definitely. He has to pit, and I don't know why he didn't take this option of the virtual safety car. Probably his teammate. No, his teammate was DNF'd after, I think, lap 3. So um, I don't know what Squid's trying to do. Probably going to the end with these tires. It can be an option, but it will be so risky to have a puncture.
Lavelle, Rutanius now on the rear of this Alfa Romeo. He is very, very quick behind the rear of Lavelle right now.
Routinius on mediums. He didn't want to take a set of softs. I think he had all the sets used, so he's taking these mediums. Probably he doesn't want to reach the cliff on those softs strip.
Well, I'll tell you something right now, Lavelle, Rutanius has been showing fantastic pace through this race. Stewards will review the incident between the two drivers of Adam and Rutanius post-race, as I'm sure they will be reporting it to the stewards. Greatly appreciate the patience and the level-headed chat that is happening right now. Of course, the stewards review the chat following that, and penalties are awarded to drivers who get toxic. It's in the MRL rules, and I like to bring that up every now and then because it's a good reminder for everybody. Birthday Tanius looking at Lavelle now.
Yeah, this is for position strip. They are on the same medium compound. They're both going to the end or trying to go to the end, as Lavelle will try to cover the inside line here for turn 11. It's Rutanius just taking the inside line very, very, very tight between these drivers. He will wait for the main straight, but it still has to save some fuel for the end of this race. Look at that speed, look at the traction. Look at the traction from the racing point. He will open the DRS. Lavelle will be vulnerable without that system open, so it will be Rutanius not utilizing any battery, so he'll try to go on the outside, probably aiming for a better exit, and he does that, just taking profit of those mediums, newer mediums, fresher mediums than the Alfa Romeo has. Is Cactus still on the window of that Alfa Romeo for DRS, so he'll have to push on those new softs strip.
Tons of action happening on this grid right now. Sorry, I was just timing out some users in the chat just to keep things civil. Things escalate, guys. I know there was no toxicity, but we want to keep things focused on the present. And right now, Squid on these 23 lap old tires is still within the rearview mirrors of Unicorn. Maka in on that train, Gadwin in on that train, and while the longer that train goes on, the easier it will be for drivers like Rutanius, Lavelle, Cactus to catch up on the fresher rubber.
Yeah, and Squid really wants this train to be, well, to continue on, because he wants to conserve the tires, because it doesn't seem like he wants to pit unless he does jump to the pits. He doesn't. Well, so I really think he's trying to go to the end.
Cactus, wheel to wheel now. On the rears with Lavelle. He's going to get that move through now. A little bit of a squeak coming out of the Alfa Romeo. He's on the inside still, just a touch. Cactus gets through and ahead. Rutanius has dispatched Undertaker. 2 seconds now is the gap for Rutanius to the car ahead in Gadwin. And remember, all of these drivers, Rutanius, Adam, everybody, they are pushing as hard as they possibly can right now to regain a potential lead of this race. Right now, Garan is flying away with it.
Yeah, Garan on his debut as a reserve capacity here from Haas, so it will be good points for the Pirates, led by some idiot. I think you'll be happy there. So yes, Rutanius just overtaking, I think it was Undertaker at the same spot as Cactus was doing with Lavelle, I think, if I may recall. So Cactus still waiting for that door to open on the AlphaTauri.
Not going to be long for Rutanius before he has the DRS on. Well, these guys are just so... It's a very unique exchange. Cactus could be on for a potential podium here as well if these drivers have the pace they need at the end of this one. Up ahead, Squid, Unicorn, they are exchanging. Squid on some very, very old tires, the oldest tires on this grid. It's been such a unique race for the Williams. Cactus now gets the move done on Undertaker. He has 1.7 seconds ahead of him to catch up with Rutanius. Undertaker with a little bit of a slide. This might have exposed him to the Alfa Romeo of Lavelle. Lavelle wanting to catch up some points as best he can.
As well as Dirk. Dirk pitted on that BSC after the contact between both leaders. So he's on fresh tires as well as Cactus. I think they're both in the same strategy. So he's trying to go to the end and trying to take profit of this soft compound, as we were seeing Unicorn and Squid having a battle on Sector 1. It's Unicorn still holding ahead with fresher tires than his rival.
Dirk with a late snap to the inside, maybe a little bit later on the brakes, but here he has a good exit. Does he have enough of a charge in those softs to get it done on this Alfa Romeo? What a lunge and a launch coming out of that turn for him. He has a good run through the banking now. A lot of speed. DRS now in utilization. Undertaker is a sitting duck compared to that Alfa Romeo. There goes Lavelle around the outside. Undertaker defending as best he can. Yasko's back marker still on circuit here. Could present a very difficult problem for Undertaker. Dirk now having to slow down as a result. He gets through. He gets through. Undertaker now. Oh, Dirk is charging through. He is charging through, and there's so much going on ahead as well. There's such tight gaps through this grid. Rutanius now. I'm going to have to take our attention to him as he looks at Gadwin. Nothing doing just yet. Back to Dirk. Does he have that move through? No. Things are so tight on this grid. Adam now looking at Razor. He's just not close enough to make the move, Alex, and I just don't know where to put the cameras right now on this grid.
Put it on Rotenius because the Racing Point will have a look on the inside, but it doesn't have the straight line speed, but it will have the dive. Let's see, because Gadwin doesn't close the door. It will be still Rotenius behind Gadwin, and Cactus just catch this pack, and as well as Dirk, who is now overtaking Undertaker, and he's inside the points.
Gadwin knows Rutanius is sitting in his rearview mirror now. He's on notice, and he knows that he needs to defend that position as best he can. They're going to the end of this race. Everything is for position. Further up the grid, Maka is having a front row seat to Unicorn and Squid as Squid launches himself through on the inside of Unicorn. Squid now in the Williams is into third position. 12, nearly 13 seconds the gap between him and the other podium sitters. Rutanius now wheel to wheel with Gadwin. This could be huge. Gadwin on the inside. Rutanius goes around the outside. Gadwin holds off. Cactus now is looking at all of this, and that could have been so bad for either driver, but it was clean, and Rutanius is into sixth position.
Look at Rutanius, because I think the contact he had as Cactus will have a better exit, I think, and Gadwin, but still Gadwin protecting that 7th place. Squid and Unicorn again exchanging position in Sector 1. So I don't know how Squid is holding those hearts to the end. It would be massive job if he can take it to the end without punctures, sir.
If he can get those tires to the end, I imagine you'll have some questions for him in the post-race interview, because he would be looking at a potential podium, but he has such a monstrous strain. He has such a monstrous train behind him here. Rutanius is on these very fresh mediums, right on the rear of Maka, and he has a major axe to grind here.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think that putting the mediums under that BSC conditions was not a bad idea, because I think right now probably the mediums are faster than the subs. You can see Cactus is still there behind Gadwin, Atom still behind Undertaker, and probably the mediums was the better option on that pit strategy.
Well, Squid is this massive, kink in this entire lineup. He's a 28-lap-old hard runner at the moment, going to the end for what we see here, and this is going to really bunch everybody up behind them if they can't get through. Rutanius now with a lunge on the inside of the Haas. Maka holding him well. Rutanius having to jump the curb. He's going to look for another opportunity as we come out of the banking.
Yeah, he has the pace, he knows it. He has the grip as well, but he was not taking the best spot to do that overtake. Is Mac on low of battery. Unicorn will take, I think, P3. If he can dive here on the outside of Squid, he should have better traction. There's a little contact there, and on the exit there's the space, as I think there's a yellow flag for Mercedes. I think it's Arrow spinning, and a Cactus just overtaking the other AlphaTauri after dispatching first Undertaker. Now he takes Gadwin onto P7 now.
Neatly done there. Squid and Unicorn still exchanging. Unicorn's through into third position. Squid within 2/10 of him. Now has Maka stuck in his rearview mirror, and Rutanius is barking up the rear of both of them. This is absolute intensity. We are on lap 32 of this 36-lap race. Rutanius so close to the rear of Maka through these turns right now. And here goes Cactus looking up the inside. Rutanius narrowly closing that door here. Rutanius with the run and the charge with the DRS on the rear now as we come into this hairpin. Oh, there's a
Oh
big issue. He's been hit in the rear, it would seem. I don't know what's happened, but that has been Rutanius going offline here. He's got that car back under control. He's going to hold a few of these drivers up, and Cactus is into 5th position, hunting down Maka now on fresh softs. Rutanius will drop behind Lavelle, and now he's got to go and overtake an Alfa Romeo all over again with Dirk Chocolate and Adam right behind him. The McLaren is looking to hunt him down into turn 1 already. What a dynamic race.
I don't really know what happened. I think I really don't know what happened there. It was 3 cars just sliding. Probably someone just losing their braking point and colliding with the other one, causing a Constantino effect. Sorry, on the car ahead. I think that was the consequences of someone losing their braking points. True.
Well, Adam on the rear of Dirk Chocolate. We saw Dirk Chocolate have a little bit of a brush with Rutanius, and as these 3 are hunting down Lavelle ahead, there's going to be so much intensity. A little bit of a snap from Dirk coming off the curbing here through Sector 2. Further up the grid, it's Cactus hunting down Maka. He will have DRS. Will he have enough battery to give him the jolt he needs to get ahead of him? Not yet, but he might have a great... Oh, he's looking at the inside already. Maka's leaving him the door wide open, and as we look behind them, Rutanius and Lavelle are so tight on track. Dirk's there on the inside. Who's that behind them? Adam.
Who's Adam?
Adam's had an issue.
He's losing the points there. He lost the points on that action. He lost the rear as Dirk Chocolate is just preparing the overtake, as well as Cactus. Cactus will dive on the inside of Maka, just taking 4th place on this, 3 laps left to go, sorry. And it will be Cactus trying to close the gap on Unicorn and take that podium back.
This race has just been so action-packed, and we're so thankful to have you all here with us watching along. What a dynamic race we are seeing unfold here. Maka is hunting down Cactus. He wants that position back. Further on, we have Rutanius, who has had one of the most dynamic drives I've seen in MRL thus far, and I have to say it's been that way for a great portion of this grid. He is currently in 8th, hunting down Lavelle. Wow. Oh, he's looking at that inside. Lavelle holding well.
It was not going to work there. I think it was more trying to avoid to touch the rear of Lavelle rather than overtaking him.
Well, Adam right now looking at Razor. Undertaker ahead of Razor by less than a second. Dirk on the rear of Rutanius by less than half a second, and he's on the softs, and I think they might just have a little bit more ability than the mediums at this point in time. Dirk missed a shift here. It might have exposed his run on the rear of that Dutchman. He does not have a lot of battery. There's a slight tap, a little bit of a misjudgment through the turn there from Dirk. He's tapped Rutanius into the rear. Gadwin's hunting down Maka on 6-lap fresher rubber. And I am just beyond jaw dropped right now with some of the action we're seeing in this race. Undertaker and Razor are so tight. They're fighting, and Adam wants to get both of them.
Yeah, and Cactus, meanwhile, I think he cut it 1 second on this lap. So he's on the DRS window of Unicorn. Very exciting to see this because Unicorn normally is not on podium places. Let's see if Unicorn can take this podium to his home, but we'll see because it's the difficult track to overtake, and Cactus has new softs to take profit with.
Look at this grid right now. There's so many tight gaps on this grid right now. Adam, Razor, wheel to wheel. Adam around the outside. The Alfa Romeo wanting to get that move done. He wants to catch up with the Alpha Tauri ahead, and he is going to get through into 11th here as we look into the final lap of this race. Cactus, Unicorn, this is a fight for podiums. Gran and back row, I think they might have locked it in, but here it is. Unicorn, Cactus, they're fighting it out for third. There's a big misjudgment from Cactus there. He pushes Unicorn a little bit. He's hunting him down. He lets him get things back going. Such a tight battle between these two to the end of the line here, and this is going to expose them to who? It's Maka. He is very much in this fight as well. The Haas driver could also collect a podium if anything goes south between Unicorn and Cactus. Gadwin's there in this train. It's a major, major train behind this final podium position, Alex.
What a save from Unicorn. What a save from Unicorn would be a hairbreak if he loses the podium on this last lap. Razor had the spin on Sector 3 as Green 8 Goran will cross the line to take his first race win on his debut. Bakro will cross the line on second place after a massive stint on this soft, and Unicorn seems like he's holding Cactus back. Yes, as Cactus has a warning on that second, well, on the last corner, he tries to put everything, the battery, draining it, but it's Unicorn on the podium. It's Unicorn on the podium, Striff.
Oh my, he is going to be so thrilled. So thrilled. We don't normally talk to Unicorn on Tuesdays until we commentate on Wednesdays, but we're going to be talking to him today, Alex. And wow, what a race this has been. All of the drivers now coming through to take the checkered flag here. That was a very, very dynamic race. We'll take a moment now as Razor will be one of the final drivers to cross here. He will be the final driver to cross here in control of his car. Yasko, unfortunately, having an error, potentially kicking him out of this lobby. But that was an absolutely thrilling campaign for Tier 3, Alex, I have to say. Of course, everybody in the chat, thank you so much. We're going to have some interviews in just a moment, of course, and we'll rate a member of the F1 community shortly after. But wow, Alex, let's have your thoughts on that one.
It was amazing. It was intense all over the race. I think we didn't have any pause because it was amazing. As we see Goran just taking the celebrity move there on the top of the podium. Bagro on second place and Unicorn on third place. An amazing job from these three drivers taking care of this of the compounds and as well as the traffic they had ahead. Unicorn having a lot of battle every single lap. On the first turn, it was with I think it was with Bakro and with Maka. Maka had damage on the first turn, and then he had to protect from Squid and Cactus to take that third place. Very dynamic race, and we will take a look on this grid. We had Grenade Goran, as I said, for Haas as a reserve capacity here on Zandvoort. We have Bagro and Unicorn completing the podium. Cactus, we have that P4 after changing the wing on lap 24, I think, after the contact on the BSC. So it will Maka 5th, Galwin 6th, Rutenius having bad luck after the contact with Adam leading this race earlier. It's Lovell on the Alfa Romeo taking sweet points to Alfa Romeo. Sorry to repeat myself there. It's Dirk Chocolate on 9th place for the McLaren squad, and Undertaking rounding up top 10 on that AlphaTauri. We'll have Atom on outside the points. Duncan Yu, Damon place, completing that 13th place for McLaren. Squid not having the best luck, but still reaching to that fastest lap. Razor and Linus Ferrari not with good luck here. Moen on P17, Zasco with a disconnection, not able to rejoin the session. Arrow and Alex, but on DNFing on this race. Strip.
That was a thrilling race here around the Netherlands. I don't have many other words that can describe that other than just amazing, dynamic, must see. I'm going to be rewatching that in its entirety without a doubt. But before we do that and we close ourselves off for the evening, well, guess what? We're going to have some interviews. So,
the Renault boys are here.
There we go. Joining us is Unicorn. You aren't a stranger to being here, so why don't you do you want to interview yourself or do you want one of us to do it?
Oh, Strip, I want someone else to interview me. That was one hell of a race, bro.
Well, P3, is that your first league podium?
In MRL, yeah, absolutely. I've done it a few times in F1 VLT too, but nothing. It doesn't mean quite as much there as it does here. Oh, trust me, it feels bloody brilliant to be here, man. Oh.
Well, congratulations. The chat has your back. Everybody has been rooting for you in this one. I imagine everybody has been wanting to hear you speak as a race, well, podium finisher. I want to say race winner, but we're not quite there yet, my friend. Soon enough. But this has been such a dynamic race. And, well, you've watched plenty of these races with me. You are going to look at this one and you're going to be very happy. But I would like you to just quickly give us a brief rundown. How was this race for you?
Yeah, well, first of all, I was sweating like absolutely mental. There was a lot going on in that race, but at the start, P17, I'm looking, I'm like, you know what, turn 1, not the best, turn 3. And I saw, as I came into turn 3, obviously it's a bank curve, I saw that like pile of cars, I don't know how many were there. Like I could already see it happening. And like you said, I've watched plenty of these races, I'm like, that's not going to end well. And they're going to go to the outside. So I saw that, overtake the guy I'm next to and just pin it to the inside because I knew they were going to go to the outside wall. So I managed to avoid that, and I was P9 when that safety car came out. So the first lap itself was fine, but then the rest of the race, I had squid on my gearbox for so long. And that was tough keeping him behind. And I'd spoken to him earlier, I was like, I'm beating you tonight. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, I'm beating you tonight. And when I saw him behind me, I was like, no. And then my chat told me that Rutanius and Atom crashed, and Rutanius is a very good friend of mine. I practiced with him. I gotta put this podium down to him. I like him, and I practice a lot. And when he crashed at his home rate, it was, you know, apparently him and Atom came together. I don't know what happened, obviously, but I was like, if he can't finish on the podium, I'm doing it for him. So here we are. Well, I'll be honest. I'll put TC back on for this race.
I think it's my backyard. Yeah, it is. So yeah, it's Spain.
There we go. My microphone was having a bit of a problem. Look at that. Lovely. All right. Well, that wraps up our interview with Unicorn, guys. We greatly appreciate you joining us for that one. We're going to... Congratulations, Unicorn. Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers. It feels good, shit. It feels brilliant.
This will not be the last interview that you get. I think I'll be a little bit more prepared to interview the other commentator.
Well, I hope so.
All right. Well, it's all fun here. Thank you so much, Unicorn, for joining us. And, well, congratulations.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Next up, joining us, Alex, I'll let you take this one, but it is, of course, Back Row. Welcome back to the commentary booth.
Hello, nice to be back here.
Yeah, Bagro, very good job. I think you were starting P6 probably.
P6 or P7, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very superlative job. I think that first stint on the softs, I think was almost 18 laps, almost half of the race on that stint. So I think that put you outside the trouble. They had other drivers, so you only did your race, probably some traffic dealing. But yeah, what can you tell us of that race on Zandvoort?
Well, originally, the plan was soft hard for me, because I didn't think I could get the tyre wear good enough, but safety car really helped, and you know, with the help of my guys in the team, they told me medium's easy, lap 16, got like lap 17, you know, stretch them a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was super curious because a lot of people in the chat were not expecting that. I think you were actually losing time. So very good stretch there and very good position on the podium again.
Yeah, well, you know, losing time at the end of your soft stint is maybe better than going on to hards.
Yeah, definitely very good job, Back Row. As I think we have Goran here, Strip.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us, Back Row.
No worries.
Well, now joining us, the final podium finisher, last but not least, Grenade Garan. Welcome to the commentary booth, and congratulations. What a debut. Why don't we have your take on it?
Yeah, thank you. I have really luck when the Bertel safety car come. I don't remember, but the P2 and the P3 guy, they smash each other out. So it was maybe 50% luck and 50% skill.
Oh, what a
but
dynamic
it was super
race.
Super fun race.
That was, were you expecting that coming into this one? Were you expecting such a thrilling encounter at the end of it? Because that race, we saw safety cars, VSCs, we saw tight battling all throughout, and you came out at the end on top. So congratulations. But man, what were your thoughts coming into this race? I mean, it was your debut race.
Yeah, I was playing some iRacing and then got some tag and practiced some F1. But in the quali, I have a really nice lap on the way, but was invalid. So I think I got pace when I joined the starting line. So hey, again, it was super fun. It's fun racing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on the win and
Yeah,
the
thanks.
amazing race. And we'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope Gunther will call me soon.
I think he
spot
just
this one.
might. I think he just might. Thanks a lot.
Okay, nice. Bye.
Well, Alex, that wraps up this one. Tier 3, Round 5 is in the books, of course. What a race. What a race. We didn't see the rain, but I don't think we needed the rain. Of course, guys, to everybody in the chat, to everybody who has been viewing along with this stream, thank you. Everyone who's followed along and who's been following the season so far, we greatly appreciate you and your support. We are going to raid a member of the community, but of course not before the outro and not before shouting out our fantastic partners, Next Level Racing. Check them out at the link in the chat. They have an amazing lineup of affordable sim racing rigs and products here, and they are dedicated to growing sim racing globally. So check them out, guys. They are fantastic. Now, without further ado, the intro. Any last words there, Alex, before we head off for Tier 3?
No, very superlative track for everyone. Probably super intense mode. I think I didn't expect Zandvoort to be that fun, and it was. So very good job from these drivers, and we will see you next week for me.
Take care, everyone, and have a great evening. This evening, we'll be joining Mr. Dirk Chocolate, or, well, it depends on whether he stays live. I think he's staying live. So yes, we're going to go and see Mr. Dirk Chocolate and ask him what happened in this race. Have a good night, guys.